We've seen that when a FilePro edit fails, you get a little message at the bottom of the screen that says edit failed at cursor position, and your cursor is put back in the field automatically. It looks exactly like this. Let me just do it for you really quick so you see what it's about. Let's say I come into here this field, and I'll put an A here in a date field. I hit enter, and down at the bottom it does say edit failed at cursor position, and my cursor's back there. But I have my cursor set to a tiny, thin, 2-pixel wide line. It's a very, very hard thing to see, and if you have a very complex screen and a lot of things going on, and you hit an edit, and just your cursor automatically gets put back somewhere on the screen, or you're looking around for what happened, you may not really, you'll catch the edit at the bottom eventually that it failed, then you'll start looking around the screen to figure out where your cursor is. You can make this a little bit more pronounced by using a FilePro environment variable. And these are inserted into the FilePro config or configuration file, and that's done through this directory, FilePro directory choice on the main menu. If we hit this choice, one of the very first things on the first page before we do anything, before we pick a file, in other words, this is going to apply to all FilePro files, we press F6 to edit the configuration file. Here is my configuration file. You can see all these strange variables in here. These are what keep my FilePro system operating in the way I want it to operate. I'm going to press update. I'm going to use that special key, by the way. The key which shows me the keystrokes, escape question mark in Unix and Alt F10 in Windows, shows me that I can use the F3 key here too, and the F4 key, insert and delete lines. So I'm going to insert a line, and at the top I'm going to put this variable, pf ed fail box. And it's not important that it's all uppercase. It could be lowercase. And the way FilePro goes, you notice that all lines say pf. That's because all of my environment variables, I come from a time 25 years ago when FilePro was called Profile. And so I'm used to Profile. In recent years, in the past 20 years since FilePro started, it's been fixed so that these environment variables can also start with FP. So FP edfail would probably work in the same way that PF edfail works. And all the other ones the same. They can start with either PF or FP, but you have to look them up and you can type them in any way you want. I'm going to say pf edfail box equals on and save that. Now I'm going to X out of here and I'm going to go back to the main menu with the cancel key. Okay, I'm now back to the main menu. Let's go back into that same file. Let's go into same screen, same place we were, update. I'll put an A in this field now and I'll hit enter. And you see it's changed the operation of FilePro quite a bit. Just to say, and it failed the cursor position bright and big and beautiful up in the middle of the screen, and you realize, okay, what I just entered, I have to hit enter to get past this error message. And as soon as I do that, my cursor goes back right to the field I was in. And believe me, this can be very useful. If you have secretaries working on your system like I do, they type 40, 50 fields in just a few seconds. They have no idea where they are. They're just looking at a piece of paper and typing in data, and it's just magically going into the right place. So they type in a date, and they, see that little edit for the cursor position. Their eyes are 20 lines down the page compared to where they were, and all of a sudden they have no idea where they are. This type of messaging, though, which forces them it actually rang a little bell, forces them to hit enter and puts their cursor right back where they can see it pretty easily. They can fix the problem and move on. The environment variables are very, very important in FilePro. We'll be discussing them all through the beginning, intermediate, and advanced tutorials.